Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
Hi everyone, Sue here at 1A Auto, and today we're putting front strut assemblies in our 03 Tundra. If you need this part or any other part for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. Taking the wheel off, it's a 21mm socket. I like to loosen them up in the star pattern, even though that's how you mount them. I still take them off the same way. And make sure the weight of the vehicle's on the truck tire, and loosen up the lug nuts. We're not taking them all the way off, we're just loosening them. At home, you can use a jack with jack stands. I have a 2-post lift I'll be raising my vehicle with. Now with the vehicle up in the air, it's safe for me to take the lug nuts off by hand. I'll just take them all off and then set them aside. Now with the lug nuts off, it's safe to pull the tire off. So we're going to loosen the top of the strut assembly. There's 3 14mm socket nuts up here, not the center one. Don't touch the center one. That is the compression for holding the spring onto the strut. We're just going to undo, it's like a triangle, exactly 3 nuts, 14mm socket. The back one you can't get a socket on, you can only get it with a wrench. So I have a 14mm wrench. Slide it over that. Let's hope for the best. Once you get these all the way off, then we'll move down to the bottom mounting bolt. Now the bottom mounting bolt is a 19mm socket. And I gotta get a wrench because the bolt is moving now. I put a 19mm wrench on the head of the bolt. That goes through the other side. Take that nut out. Let me see if the bolt moves. I'm just gonna hit the bolt out. Yeah, there's a washer there. I'm going to get a center punch and continue that out. I got a brass punch and I'm going to punch that bolt out. Hopefully. So I see what's happening here. It's bottoming out on the axle. Now that I've chiseled, well not chiseled, but took a center punch and brass punch and pushed that lower bolt out, the control arm popped up a little bit and just basically guide out your strut assembly. Here we have our new strut assembly for our 03 Tundra from 1A Auto, and here's the factory one. They're both the same height. They're the same 3 mounting bolts. The one from 1A Auto comes with brand new 3 locking nuts. Nice center bushing pressed in where the lower bolt goes. There's the factory one, it's been worn out for a while now. So if you need this part or any other part for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. So make sure you line up the top studs to the actual mounting plate up on top, and make sure the bottom bolt will be going in the bracket in that angle. As these aren't that light, so you don't want to be holding that up there and having nothing line up. There we go. Okay, I'm going to start the least one of the nuts on the top. Here we go. So in order to line this up, I just took a pry bar and I just rested it lightly on the caliper. Doesn't take a lot of strain, and I just wiggle it up and down. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to tap it in. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to get the bolt. I'm going to make my life easy, and I'm going to put the bolt in this way because it hits the axle. Other than that, okay, now I can hit that in with a hammer. I'm going to add the flat washer and then the nut on the back. If I could get in there. So the only reason I would think that they want the bolt going this way is because of the stud hanging out and the possibility of hitting the axle boot. I think it has plenty of clearance, but I will double check that. I'm going to put the tire on and lower this before I go down the road, and I'll turn the radius both ways and confirm this has plenty of distance so it doesn't hit that. Now with the bolt and nut bottomed out, I'm going to torque this to 100 foot-pounds. Okay, the nut is turning, so I'll have to leave the wrench on there. And there is 100 foot-pounds. We'll move up to the top 3 bolts. Nuts. The nuts on this strut assembly are a 15mm socket. So it changed from 14 to a 15. I'm gonna have to get that back one with a ratchet wrench. Okay, now we're going to get the torque wrench and torque these to 49 foot-pounds. All right, so correction, it is 47 foot-pounds for the top mounting. So I have my glasses on. I'm going to have to put a long socket on that. Okay, that back one, woo! So the back one, obviously, I can't get a torque wrench in there. So I'm just, obviously I saw how much I had to really put into it for that one, so I'm gonna give it the, hopefully the same amount. Yeah, that is not coming off. Now it's time to put the tire back on. This is an alloy wheel, so you have a seat on the lug nuts, and that aluminum, the metal piece goes into the aluminum, so definitely do it by hand, guide it in, and know that it's seated. I do 2 of them, and that way when I go to lower it and tighten it, it's not off center. Now with my lug nuts hand tightened and the truck on the ground, pressure on the tire, so the truck's not fully lowered, just pressure on the tire. I'm going to torque each lug nut to 110 foot-pounds. That's the manufacturer torque specs for this vehicle. I'm going to tighten in the star pattern. Just seats on the hub properly. I like to double check one last time. And you're all set.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.